Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Weatherboys podcast. We're really rolling with these podcasts, man. I think this is episode 12, season 3.
Yeah, year 16. I think we're going on.
You're wearing the Eclipse shirt today,
I am.
are you?
I know. I felt so excited because you did the old weather thing and you got the suit, and I always love to take that thing off because it sucks. And then today I went home and I opened my drawer and I had
Your what?
my drawer. My drawer.
This guy cannot say the word drawer. It's a drawer. It's an easy word to say. It's a drawer.
I can't wait to talk to our guest about this because I genuinely cannot. I can't hear a difference in what we're saying. I think I'm saying the same thing that you're saying. We're both saying drawer.
You can't honestly believe that.
Drawer.
It's a drawer. A drawer.
A jar. You're saying. I guess you are. Yeah, you are saying jar.
Yeah, you open.
A jar.
I store my clothes in a drawer.
Yeah, I say things. Drawer.
I open up the drawer. It's not a drawer.
It's a drawer.
Anyways.
Yeah, whatever, man.
It has been a year since we...
Well, yeah, I opened my drawer, jar, and I had 7 shirts to choose from. I was so excited. Weatherboys shirts.
I know.
And I got this one, yeah.
There was a great period of time where every single story we had a new shirt, hat,
something.
vest, something.
It was great.
It was awesome.
Fantastic.
How you doing? How's life?
Good, fantastic. Are you kidding me? You're going to hate me for this. I did the old cold plunge today. Oh, I love it. I love it. I don't know. Because it's like an anti-vacation. It's terrible. It's miserable. I don't buy into the health benefits. They say all these things about it. I don't think that's the case. I just like it because it's like wakes you up,
Where do you stand on a sauna?
Yeah, those are great. I'll fall asleep in that though. That's the problem.
Melissa wants to get a sauna.
In the house?
In the house.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, do it. Go for it. Yeah, get it. What? I think Melissa should get that sauna.
They're $2,000.
So what? How much do you love her? What is she worth, Derek?
I have to put a number on my love for my wife.
Well, if that's, I don't think you should.
It's less than $2,000, I guess.
Okay.
Well, I guess we figured it out.
Lucky for you, she's not going to listen to this podcast, so we don't have to worry about that. No, a sauna in the house, you're going to get the sauna. You're never going to use it. Don't get the sauna.
I feel like a sauna is like if you got a rowing machine.
For sure.
It's a great idea.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the health benefits. Fantastic.
Absolutely.
Even a hot tub. You get it with these intentions of using it all the time, and then you get it, and it mostly sits there, and then you have to buy all these things for it.
For sure. Well, you see the electricity bill, first of all.
Right.
And then you're like, no more. No more. No sauna. Your sauna's going to sit there. It's never going to be used, and it's going to be weird. Where would you put it in your house? Where?
She wants it in the basement.
In the basement.
Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, hot air rises.
She does say that it will be good for the muscles. And as she works out all the time, and as an athlete, and our guest today is around athletes.
Yeah,
I'm trying to get into the guest here.
Well, my money
I'm trying to offer you a transition here.
Hold on. Okay, all right, fine. We're gonna do it. And you like to do this thing where we Mason. What are the odds that Derek has a sauna in his house within the next 3 months? What are the odds?
On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm looking at 10.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
You have to intro the guest, Alan.
I like doing that stuff. Everybody knows who Mason is.
But this is a podcast. There are people that are listening to this in their car. They can't see him like we see him.
Lucky I have you. This is the guy. This is the guy. He needs no more introduction.
Detroit Pistons announcer Mason is here joining us today. Hello, my friend. How are you?
To the two guys with crazy pictures and makes for TV, all kinds of crazy noise. Ladies and gentlemen, I get to sit here with the Weatherboys.
Oh, my gosh. This is fantastic. I mean, we have so much to say. First of all, we have to thank you for being here, A, and 2, for lending your voice and your person to the last story we did when we hung out with the Extreme team.
Yeah, so for the folks that maybe saw the story, if you didn't see the story, it was a basketball story with the Detroit Pistons Extreme team, and Mason introed every...
skill we did.
Yes, that we tried to. How did that get I had to believe that was good. That was weird for you when someone said, "Can you do this?"
They told me during the game, right before, and then I kept saying, "Okay," and they kept trying to explain it. I said, "So you want me to go to Fox 2 tomorrow?" They're like, "No, you're going to do it today." I said, "Well, I'm on the floor in 3 minutes." So they never came back to get me. Right before the players are warming up and on the floor, they come back and they say, "Hey, you'll do it at halftime." What? No, what? So I get in this room and this guy nice guy. I guess he was the producer. He's sweating. He's trying to explain it. He's trying to apologize and all. I'm like, no. I know who the hell that is. Those guys crazy as all.
Oh, yeah.
I want to be a part of that. So that was fun. I got a chance to be a part of the Weatherboys.
And the thing that I loved about it, one of the things I loved about it was that we literally just gave you like 2 words. Like, just say like skill 1. That was it. But then we were like, and have him do the Mason thing.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And like we knew, we were like, yeah, obviously he's going to make it his, and it's fantastic. Before we get into that though, man, I'm still heartbroken. I'm sad, man. I'm sad. What a loss. I mean, and especially with the way the Knicks, we're airing this the day after the Knicks took game 1 from the Celtics, which we could have played the Celtics if we won our series. And now that I see the Knicks win, I'm like, I knew we had a chance, but now like I know we had a chance to keep on moving on. What a tough series that was, man.
Tough, but it was good and it was fun and it went to the wire every game.
Yeah.
So, that part of it was fun. Listen, they weren't expected to even be there. They were just supposed to win about 18 to 20 games. If they could have done that, then everybody claimed they would have been satisfied. Mm-hmm. They went way beyond that. And then they got in. And, of course, we have the history of being in big games in basketball, hockey, football.
Sure.
Well, wait a minute. Not football. Hockey, basketball, and baseball.
Yeah.
The Lions that is just another stratosphere, what they're doing. So it's just a whole outpouring of what's happening with our sports teams here in Detroit.
Now, I got to ask, because in TV, the sports guys, now they all love sports, but you assume that the sports department of a local TV station, that they are the most fanatic sports guys in the city. They're not, because they cover it every day. So for them, it's a job. Yeah. For you with the Pistons, is it the same thing, or are you just as much of a fan as we are?
Oh, I'm a fan. I'm a fan who tries to be, of course, objective in terms of announcing the other team and so on and so forth, which brings a good thought. I was taught to not do the real lowbrow thing when introducing the other team. As the years went on and I learned, they're families. And I mean, they're like 30 and 40 people in a family.
Sure.
For players on visiting teams. So I try not to do that part. But yes, I'm a fan. I've been called a fan, the hype man of the Detroit Pistons. So yes, it's fun, man. And I felt good for those kids because I sat through when veteran teams would tease them, trick them, make them look silly because they didn't know their way yet. And so I got a chance to see them get retribution on that. And that's always fun. But it hurts. Oh, course.
I think that's why it hurts. That's why it hurts me so much, because that last game in the third quarter when they started to lose it against the Knicks, I was like, all right, it's okay. They're done. They had a really good run. It's cool. But they came back again. And I'm like, well, now I know that. I know. I don't know many things for fact. I know.
He doesn't know many things at all.
Know. Right. But this is what you're right. But this is one of them, man. I know, like in an unknowable, in my heart way, like that team could have gone to the end. And we got next year. I know. Yeah, and I'm excited. Yeah. And Cade's only going to get better. They're all going to get better. But man, it was just, I'm just back in basketball in a way that I haven't been in a very long time.
And that's great. And of course, that was the big rally call too. Teams would come in and laugh at how many people we had in the stand.
Yeah.
That won't happen again. And people knew historically that we were in big games. Now they're part of it. Now the new Piston fans can say, oh yeah, our teams will be in the playoffs every year now.
Now,
it's going to go.
How do you feel, though? Because, like me, and I'll admit it, like, I've been a fair weather fan. You know, I grew up with, like, Grant Hill, Lindsey Hunter, Stackhouse, and, of course, 04, 05. And then I fell off, in part because I had kids, but also in part because the team started doing poorly. And so that is, in a sense, fair weather fan. I'll be, but you've been there the whole time. You've been there every single game. You know what I mean? Like, you guys going to welcome us back?
You're always welcome.
Yeah, okay.
It was a long time ago when the Pistons won those games. It was a long time ago. This is a new time, a new spirit, a new place. There's tons of new faces.
Yeah.
So this is all new and it's all different.
Mason, you've been with the team in 2002, is that right?
25 years.
25 years. Okay, so take it back to 2000.
Yeah.
Okay, so at the beginning of your career, was there anything did you try to do the basket? Like, did you try to do all that stuff as you began, or did you grow into it? Like, how did this all evolve and then really hit its peak early in 2004, 2005? I mean, I still own the Pistons DVD of that season. I own.
Where are you going to play that at?
But I haven't.
That's fantastic.
So, like, take us back to the beginning of your career. How'd you get started with the Pistons? I guess is what I'm trying to ask.
I didn't know I was doing it. They were doing a practice game at Wayne State, right? I had just switched radio stations. And so the manager thought that would be a good way to introduce me, which it wasn't. What they really wanted was what MGM has downtown in Hart Plaza, not Hart Plaza, but in the wall where Campus Marsh.
Oh yeah, Campus Marsh. Sure.
So they were going to put my picture on that wall.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, got you. Yeah.
And that was going to be the way they were going to introduce me. So my manager comes back and she says, "Oh, I'm sorry, Mason. That MGM owns that and they won't allow it." But she went to lunch with some friends of hers who had heard that the Pistons were not going to have the same PA announcer. And she said, "Well, what about Mason?" And they were like, who is that? And so they asked Ken Calvert, who was then the PA guy. And Kenny said, "Oh, yeah, Mason. Yeah, let him do it." And I never did it before. I'd only been to one game. All my games are on television.
Yeah, sure.
You hear a PA announcer in the background.
Exactly.
And so I didn't know what the hell he was doing. So I went and did the practice thing and said, okay, I got a new job. I got a little more coins now. Maybe they'll give me a deal on season tickets. I came and did this for them. And they all disappeared slightly before it ended. So then they said, "Oh, okay, can you come to the Palace?" And they asked, "Can you come to the Palace next Wednesday?" I was like, "Great, I'll go early. I'll find the person to give me those season tickets at a discount." And so I sat there and I did it. I didn't know what I was doing. The movie Jason had been out a few years or whatever. And Jason Kidd, it was the first time. I didn't know what I was doing. So the first player to score was Jason Kidd. So I went, Jason. They were like, no, that's not it. That's not how you do this. So I said, okay, I'm sorry. So I'm like, I got to find the person for the tickets. This is not. And then I didn't hear from the Pistons for a week, and they sent the schedule for the year. No one ever said, "Would you like to do this? Do you know how to do this? You know that you're going to." None of that was ever stated.
Did you think you were like trying out for it, like having an audition? How did you know you even get the job?
When I was doing the preseason, I said to myself, "Oh, the real PA guy doesn't fool with preseason."
Oh, sure. Yeah,
He
right.
does the regular season. And they just kind of let people do it, and they just kind of stayed with me. And that's what I thought. And then they gave me the season. I'm like, oh, my gosh. Now I got to learn it. I don't have that arena voice. You know, that beautiful arena voice. I don't have that. So that's where the finessing came from. I'm in radio, right? So we used to have this thing that did effects called an instant replay. And if you hit the button, it'll play whatever you want. It's 32 buttons. So if you keep your hand on the button, it just repeats. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, like a television type machine. So I said, I'll use that. I got to finesse. I don't have the voice. So that's where I get the Phillips from the instant replay machine.
Yeah.
Right. So then I said, oh, boy, what are you going to do with the rest of the guys? You got to stay finesse. Ben Wallace, I said, oh, he's a cartoon. I said, think of him like a cartoon and talk like cartoon people. Da-da-da-da. The rest comes from an esteemed broadcaster way back before any of us were born by the name of Walter Winchell. Walter was the voice of Batman and Robin. He would be the guy that would go, same channel, same bat time, So I adopted that. That was a finesse move. Then I found out that Walter did the Untouchables. Subconsciously, I remembered watching the Untouchables growing up and Batman as well. And he would go, Elliot Ness and his men. So I kept that. So you used that and put it in a pot.
So you drew from all these influences throughout your life.
Yes.
But you did plan all of these things out. So you knew you were going to go Chauncey Billups.
No, I had to come up with something. So I'm sitting there. There's no help. I don't know anybody there. Rick Mahorn, I met him once at a Piston practice, and he was 3 chairs down from me. And he wasn't like fooling with me. He assumed I knew what I was doing.
Sure.
And no one helped me. Then a guy who had won the Heisman Trophy at Florida State as the quarterback was playing guard for the New York Knicks.
Oh, yeah.
And someone came up to me and said, hey, man, I'm sorry to disturb you, but at the end of the game, Charlie Ward wants to see you in the tunnel area. I'm like, did I screw his name up too? It's too simple. So I get there. He goes, hey, man, what you're doing is kind of different. You should stay with it. Don't let anybody knock you off your square. And
that's big.
And he walked. He didn't hear a response, nothing. Gone. Never saw him or spoke to him again. But he was the one player who said something. No Pistons or anything. So I said, okay, keep working on it. And then Joey Crawford, the referee, is the most famous referee, legendary. So I make a call. I'm kind of learning it a little bit now. So I go, breakaway foul. He blows the whistle. So I know he's blowing it for the foul. He comes over, he goes, who are you? I'm like, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And he goes, you don't make the call until I make the call. Are we straight? So I go, oh, my God.
Yeah.
And I still didn't know where every referee was and who was making the call. So third quarter comes along. The visiting team is about to take the ball out. And Joey Crawford just blows the whistle. He's way in the far corner. I'm like, no. I'm sure, because I peeled back. Because I said, don't do anything. Don't try nothing today anymore. Because he's listening. So he walks real slow. He comes over to me. I said, this is it, man. You're out, buddy. You are out. I said, so what happens is save face. When he comes and tells you, get out of here, stand up, be a man, take your headphones off, and just slowly walk away. Don't go fast. So he comes over and he goes, you get it now.
Nah.
And he blew the whistle and regained the game. It just went on from there. And coaches, players, no one knew what happened. And that's what he did.
There you go.
So so I learned, but it was the guy who really helped me was Pete Scorridge, who then ran the arena for the Pistons, works now for Illich operations. But Pete taught me the game differently. I was so nervous. I couldn't say Viviano Flowers. I kept going, and he looked at me and slowly took the paper from my hand, balled it up, threw it over his back, and turned and started smiling. So I said, okay. He's like, you'll never get this. This happened for 2 games. I couldn't read the read. But because he did it that way, he made it fun to learn. So now I wasn't afraid to learn or for him to say anything to me. So he slowly taught me the game. And then now this is a point to what you guys said earlier. He says, by the middle of the season toward the end, you'll get it. It's going to take you about 2 years, but you'll be fine. By then, the team will get into the playoffs. They make the playoffs that year. They make it that year. They make it to the Eastern Conference Finals that year. So
was that against the Pacers? Was that the year against the Pacers?
It was the Nets.
Oh yes, the Nets. Yep, I remember that.
So that's how I learned the game, and that's how I got in. The last funny story about me getting in on year one, they called me 2 games before the season ended. I said, "Oh, this is it. You're being dismissed now." It was a nice run, They called and said, I know, right?
Just always thinking you're getting fired.
Right,
But that's media. That's media too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Derek, I didn't know the game. I didn't know if I was doing okay. I'm right in there because I knew I didn't have the arena voice. I'm like, I'm finessing. And so the lady says to me, we're calling you because you didn't pick up any checks. I'm like,
For the whole season?
Alan, I didn't know you got paid.
Oh my gosh.
No one said, listen, they didn't say you're hired. We're picking you. You want to do it. So, and
You didn't sign no W-2.
Nothing. They said you got checks. You got to please pick up your checks. And I'm like, whoa, because here's the way I thought. I thought it was a celebrity thing. You get to do the game.
Sure. Yeah.
All the food you can eat, all the pop you can drink. I mean, they gave you jerseys and T-shirts and hats.
Sure.
I'm like, they pay you. And so I was super shocked. So I got all those checks. And because they made the playoffs, they asked me to cut commercials. So that went beyond what they were paying. So the guy, Pete Scourge, made sure that in years to come, that pay for playoffs and all that kind of stuff would be above the level. And of course, they went to the Eastern Conference Finals 6 times. And so that was close to some 30 playoff games. So that's how I really got paid that first year.
Yeah.
So yeah, but no, I didn't know you got paid.
How do you? That's not. How do you you talk here? Listen to you talk about this now. Those nerves are a thing of the past, right? But when you're in it, the first 2 things to go when you're nervous are what? Sometimes you can get shaky. Sometimes you get sweaty. Sometimes your voice shakes, right?
Dry mouth.
That's hard. Yeah, that's hard. That's hard to fake. Do you remember? How did you make it through that?
I was comfortable. I just had to learn.
Yeah.
Just not knowing. And then I got in a situation with Chauncey Billups. I guess it was the first year. It was halfway through the second season. And Chauncey says, he tells somebody, tell Mason I need to see him. I'm like, oh,
good. Great.
He doesn't like this intro.
He wants my autograph. That's right. Obviously.
No, Derek, that's not it. Well, the players go because they never, communicate. So I'm like, snap. And why him? I said, I got to change that intro. So we're walking through the tunnel. He goes, hey, Mace, the reason I wanted to see you was I could barely hear what the hell he was asking me. What he wanted me to add to his intro. He said, I want you to tell people what neighborhood I'm from. But I was so intimidated. I'd never spoke to a Piston player.
Sure.
So it sounded like he went, hey, Mace, womp, womp.
Right. Charlie Brown's teacher. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So the person who told me to go see him, I said, man, you got to think. He had to say to you what he wanted. You got to remember.
Wait, you went through the whole conversation and you weren't like, Mr. Billups, what are you saying? You ended that conversation and you had no idea what the request was?
Alan, this is what I said.
Oh, I love you, man. That's so fantastic.
I said, Chance, cool. And what? I had to save face because he thought
I get it.
Alan,
I get it.
I knew what I was doing.
No, I would have done the exact same thing. You're trying to stitch together what he said.
Oh my God! So I told the guy, I almost threatened him. I said, "Man, you got him.
You got to figure this out."
He would have had said he wouldn't just tell you he want to see me. He had to tell you why. And then the guy went, "Well, man, I think it's something about his neighborhood." Where he's from, he wants you to sit. So I had to take that. I had to research it.
Oh my God!
Find out where he was, and then I put it together, hoping that that's exactly what he was asking for.
Yeah.
He never said anything about it.
Oh, that's good.
From what I'm hearing, Mason, you are the embodiment of fake it till you make it.
Yes.
And isn't that crazy?
That's exactly what I did.
You're like the best one, at least one of the best. Anybody, any random Google search, you go to these random Reddit subreddits about PA announcers in the NBA. There's no official you're number one. You are in our hearts for sure. But across the country, there's no denying that you are one of the top.
I was the first selected as an NBA All-Star.
So there you are.
First. And then the same year or the following year, I was selected as the number 1 PA announcer in the world of basketball. So they sent me to Cyprus, Turkey.
Yeah.
And when I walk into the arena, 108,000 people go, Euro basketball.
Oh, man.
So I'm like, wow, this is incredible.
We got to talk about that specifically. Where did that come from? The famous Detroit basketball. That's you, Mason. You started that. How?
Didn't want to do it. And by then I knew what to do. You're not allowed to say anything unless the referee tells you to say something or a shot was completed or a foul was committed. Other than that, you can't talk. So they were doing a game. They hadn't been on, this is before they made it to the playoffs. They hadn't been on national TV. Kind of like what happened this year with our Pistons team of this year. So they hadn't been on national TV. And so the ESPN person sitting next to me said, this is boring. This is when the Pistons were holding NBA teams to 80, 85 points defensively. So she says, this is boring. So I could hear the guy in Secaucus say, we're going to switch to Houston. Give me a couple minutes. I'll tell you when, and then I'll count you down. And I'm like, no. We make it on national TV. Now you're going to steal it from us. People went to that game, much like what happened this year. People went to that game out of pride because we made it national.
Yeah.
And now they're going to take it from us. And I said to myself, man, you got to say something about the city. I don't know how you're going to do it. You got to think of something. So John Barry, who was a defender, he reminded me of you guys. Crazy, wild, will do it.
3-point savant.
I remember John Barry.
So John Barry, he taps the ball away from a player, and then there were two players converging on the ball, and John dives like he's on a diving board, corrals the ball, and it all came together. Two things, Derek. Thing one, the first thing that hit me, being on an airline, ding, ding. Don't ask me why that came to my head. The next thing was the most famous chant in NBA arenas during that time was air ball. I flipped it. I flipped that and said, Detroit basketball. And all I was trying to do was get the word Detroit out. Man, they turned to me. They did that cut sign. Pete turned red. I guess Joe Dumars was on the headset. It got ugly fast and quick. Pete leaned over to me and said, don't ever say that, man. He said, what are you doing? And then I guess Joe was still in the headset. So then the game is coming to an end. He turned to me. He says, on Wednesday, Derek, I like this. I think I'll fire me, Derek. On Wednesday, I had to have a meeting before the game. I'm like, no, it's been hard enough. I don't want to learn anymore. So I say, okay. So they then go off to Indiana, and there's a fan who makes SportsCenter. Number 2 on SportsCenter was a Detroit Piston fan in Indiana who had this tremendous large billboard cardboard sign that said Detroit basketball.
Come on
and
now.
ESPN made it number 2. So now their marketing, of course, goes through the roof with that. I get back Wednesday. I go where they told me to meet. Nobody's there. Doors locked. So I come to my seat. I said, oh, man, they're going to get you. At least you could say nobody was there. You were on time. So he didn't say anything. Pete sat down. We started the game. Midway through the first quarter, he turned to me and said, by the way, whenever you want to say Detroit basketball, go right ahead. And that's the story.
Come on now. Now, okay, I got some. That's an incredible story. When's the movie of your life going to be made? First of all. Second of all, though, I need some clarifying questions. Because, like, so but was that season 1? What season was that? For you and your.
It was either 1 or 2.
Early on. So at that point, you were learning what to say and when to say it. Were there I
knew by
only
then
certain words that you were allowed to say? Like why were they so mad about it? Like why didn't they just because it was different?
Because it's you don't, first of all, Murphy's Law. You're not allowed to talk.
Okay.
You're the PA guy. Just announce what you see. Foul on number 32. It's his fifth. Basket good, hey,
Sure. Yeah.
That's it. That's all PA people did. You didn't talk in the arena. That's not what you do. You don't talk. You're the PA guy. You're the public address now.
Yeah.
So I did it. All I was trying to accomplish was to shout out the word Detroit. I just wanted people who had came to feel good about coming. That's why you came to the game. And from there, I started talking to.
Yeah.
It's not the PA guy's job to hype up the crowd historically.
There you go.
But you did that. You broke the mold with that.
Did you? Was that was that like just vomit you couldn't hold back, or did you make that conscious decision? I'm going to do this thing that I know I might get in trouble for.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was prepared to be fired for that.
Yeah.
Because then I could walk around the city and no one would be mad at me and go, well, what happened? What happened? I can say, oh, well, you let me go because I shouted out the city. So I was good with that. So if they were going to fire me, I was okay with that. Plus, I'm so new. I'm still not real sure what I'm doing anyway.
Yeah.
So I was good with it.
41 home games a year.
Yeah.
You have to commit to all of those games, right?
Yes.
Do you find that difficult to do?
No.
Okay.
I've missed one game in 25 years. And it wasn't because I was sick or anything. I had a chance to fly on a private jet with General Motors to California to an event. Is
it all right? Because you're. I mean, we haven't even talked about like your radio show in the early. You're on early.
I'm on early,
right? So how do you? I mean, that must mean some sleep deprived mornings.
Okay, so this is how I look at it. This is how I look at my life. I don't have to go to school. That was hard.
Yeah.
Going to school for me, school was hard, and I don't have to work, so I don't have to have a job.
Yeah.
And I don't have to go to school. I'm not doing anything. I'm playing around. I do 2 morning shows, by the way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I do Sirius XM. I do a show for them for Smokey Robinson station called Smokey Showtown. Then I do the local show on 105.9 Kiss. So, Alan, I would go to most of those games
anyway. Right, you're watching that stuff. Yep.
I'd be up. You get to go early. You can see players. Sometimes you meet famous people.
So you've missed one game, and not because you were sick, but I do have a question about what have you done if you are sick?
I'm sick. I'll do it.
You'll do it.
I'll do it. I had to go to a dentist, which we interviewed yesterday. And I said, okay, give me a month. I'll come back and let you do the dental. They said, no, you got to have it done now. I said, I got a game Thursday. It's Monday. They said, no, we can do it. You'll be okay by game time. I said, I'm going to trust you on this. You got to be right. So they did it on Tuesday. They pulled 2 teeth.
Ooh.
But Thursday game time, I was good. But yes, I've been sick a lot, probably. It doesn't bother me. I'll go to work and do it anyway.
Is it a pride thing? Because for you, you're part of the fan experience and you don't want to let the fans down?
That's true. That's true. That gives me the ultimate excuse to go while I'm sick. And I wouldn't want to miss it. It's just so much fun for me. And it's just fun.
Yeah, I got fan questions. Can you are you still able to enjoy the game? I mean, at this point, there's no it's all second nature now.
No, I enjoy it.
Right? Because I know you're there. I mean, you got the best seat in the house, but at the same time, you do have rules in which you have to operate. But you can still, you can still soak it in there.
Oh, I have stories. So, I'll pick a player from an opposing team that's like one of their big stars. It'll be in the middle of January or February. I'm going, he's in Detroit, right? He could probably care less. Chances are he's going to win this game. But let me see his work ethic. Let me see what he does when he comes out and warms up.
Sure.
How he interacts with his team and during the game. And will he play with all that star power that he has? I've never been let down from that. No matter whom I've ever picked, they've always done it. So that's fascinating.
But when you say you picked them, you picked them
in my mind.
Oh, okay.
To just watch them. It's an observation. Okay. So when you say, do you get bored with the games? Things like that, I do things like that.
No, I don't mean to get bored. I mean, can you because you're doing a job.
Yeah.
Are you still able to get lost in the game as a fan? Because I watch the games and and you do too, and you love them, but I got nothing to do.
Okay, so here is my approach.
Yeah.
To every game, I want to tell a story. I don't want to be like the PA guy. I want to tell a story.
Yeah.
So in a tight game, when it's big and people are screaming and going crazy, most PA announcers try to raise their voice over those voices. Me, I'm trying to keep people in the moment.
Yeah.
There was a moment during the playoffs. Here's where I took liberty, right? Dennis Schroeder had been thrown to the ground by OG and
Yeah.
and I went, oh no, oh my, wait now. What the hell is he doing? There's no call or anything yet. They're getting ready to make the call, but I kept it right there. I don't get excited. I keep it in story form. Oh my, oh wow. Wait, everybody, just wait. And so the referees are making their way over, and at that point, they tell me what they're going to review. And I went, oh my, this could be a flagrant foul 2 or
Sure.
something.
Yeah.
So I did that. And then in the old days, before the refs had mics, they would tell me whose possession it was if they had to decide on whose possession on an out-of-bounds play. So I would hold the fans hostage. I would go, ladies and gentlemen, after review, a nice drive.
Right.
Yeah,
I want to know whose ball is it?
Then I go, Detroit Basketball.
There it is.
It's good.
So it's they're famous. Steve Dahl, I think is his name. He was a radio guy here, huge in Chicago. And when he was here, just listening to radio, trying to pad my craft, I heard him do this thing where he just stopped. I'm like, what's he doing? That's dead air. And then I went on to learn it was called a dramatic pause.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'm keeping that. So I bring a lot of radio technique to the PA position. When they have me read commercials and things of that nature, I have fun with that. It's something as simple as a raffle. Most PA people go, it's a 50-50 raffle. You can win money, get a ticket, and it'll help raise money for the team. I go, no. I go, 50-50 raffle. Listen, stuff both your pockets with some cash. And you'll help the team too.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of fun like that. I want to tell a story.
Yeah.
You are a professional at your craft, but that includes research because some of these names on these teams, each team has 12 players. Some of these names are hard, especially with this influx lately of Europeans. How much practice goes into that?
Oh me, oh my. I'll tell you 2 quick stories. When I was selected to do the All-Star game, I don't write it in correct English whatsoever. And I use a marker and paper. I'll use capital letters where they don't go, and I'll use a lowercase, and it's inappropriate. And the words are not...
It's Mason's language.
Right.
You get it.
So like Longstreet for Allen. The first thing that popped in my mind when I found out that was his last name was the television show Longstreet. So I always think of him like that. He looks like the guy that played the part, but although the guy was blind. But he and Allen, you gotta look the series up.
Okay.
Longstreet.
Longstreet.
He looks like Allen. So I would always think that's Allen's personality. So if I ever had to say anything, I would use those 2 references to do it.
So mnemonic. What is it? Mnemonic
devices, right?
Yeah, to help you with all of these hard names because even Giannis, I still don't know how to pronounce Giannis.
I think it's Giannis, right?
I don't even know. It is Giannis.
So the PR guy taught me that name before he was famous. He came and said, we have a new guy, and this is his name. His name is Giannis. So I went YANIS.
That makes
That's
sense.
my
Giannis. Yeah.
Okay.
And he said, not the last name,
Oh,
Mason.
yeah.
Oh, boy.
Here we go.
It's 28 letters.
His name is Adetokounmpo. I said, it's what? He said, Adetokounmpo. So I said, okay, so a debt. Like if I owed money, I got a debt.
Yeah, that's
the
way.
Yeah. So I went, a debt, then a big, gigantic capital A, Then I put a dash there, and then COMBO, Adetokunbo.
That's it.
And I nailed it. I would hear national people, they couldn't get close to it. So that's what I do.
Screwed it up. So,
but yeah, so I do everything that way. So here's the quick story. I'm doing the All-Star game, and I write that out with my marker. And the lady who I was working with turned to me and said, "Would you like us to type it?" I said, "Oh, no. This is fine." She said, "Well, you're okay. You can just leave it here, and we'll come back after lunch and go through some more." They took it and typed it.
Oh, no.
I couldn't read it. I lost all my notes because I couldn't.
And this is right leading up to game time? Did you have time to do it again?
I did, but I had it totally finessed in the right way.
Oh, no.
So that happened there.
they tried to help and they hurt.
So then I did a wedding ceremony for someone that the Piston organization really wanted me to do it for. So I go to the palace at that time and I do it. And then the father of the bride comes to me and said, "I'd like to have those notes." And I went, "Sir, I really humbly apologize, but this I can't give you. You wouldn't understand it. You'd think I'm a complete idiot because no spelling is correct. It's just the way I have to do it." He says, "I'll pay you $3,500 for that sheet of paper."
Oh, that's specific.
And you said, sold.
Sold.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But I hate to.
Actually, you should have negotiated.
Yeah. I don't.
Five.
Yeah.
5,000.
But I don't like
It's just
people.
the guy who thought he wasn't paid for the job to begin with.
Well, that was an easy one. But I don't like people looking at it. And people try to look at it. Like the people I work with, especially if they're new to me, and they're trying to read what I'm doing. And I know they are like, "Oh, this is going to be terrible." Because they could never read it. They could never read it. And it's more of a guide. It's more of a guide for the mind.
Do you have, throughout your 25 years with the Pistons, do you have a favorite team?
Piston team?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I misunderstood that.
a favorite
No, I
Pistons
thought you
team.
meant like what basketball team do you like?
No,
You're right. You're right.
All of them. I really do like all of them. I like this one.
Yeah.
There's a reason for them all. I like this one. I like the Cade Cunningham, Ivy, Duran team in the Storts because I watched them get tricked. I sat through that. I watched
Disrespected.
players. Yes.
Yeah.
Alan, teams would be at the foul line and walk, players, changing players. They come chuckling and laughing back to the bench because they just tricked the Pistons. And I kept saying to myself, there'll be a day you won't laugh. They'll grow up. So I'm this team right here.
It feels good.
Really, yes, it feels good.
You're proud of them.
I'm very proud
in a
of
way,
them.
this team was assembled differently than
Yes.
the 04-05 team, where they traded and got everybody, and they were kind of no-name stars at the time.
They were throwaways. That made that team special. They were throwaways. That made what I call the Chauncey Billups, Rasheed Wallace team. They traded him to Atlanta, and because he told them he didn't want to play, they said, "We're going to punish you." He says, "You can't punish." "Yes, we're going to send you to Detroit."
Yeah.
Beautiful. Wow.
And he said, "Do it then," and got here and loved it.
I don't think I told you, about 2 months ago, I was flying through Detroit Metro. I'm in the bathroom. She'd walked in.
Oh, no kidding.
What, you haven't told me that?
I didn't know
Derek
what to
is a
say.
giant, right?
He's huge guy. And I think I just said, "Hey, Sheed." And he just nodded.
Yeah.
That's all he did. He just nodded.
Nods.
And then I was like,
That's fantastic.
"Oh my God."
They
It's like
said,
six of you.
Okay, think of this. So I had to travel with the team in state, and they used a bus. So me, get your butt out of the way. Get to the back of that bus. So I go all the way in the back. I see these seats. I'm like, great. Whew. I got out of their way, and there's still plenty of seats. Chauncey gets on the bus. He goes, "Mace, you know whose seats those are?" I said, "Seats? Who?" He said, "Those Sheed seats." Now, Alan and Derek, there's nowhere to sit. Those are the only open. I'm like, oh no, why me? So he gets on the bus. He's never called me Mason. He goes, "Maceo." He said, how'd you get that seat? It's like, oh, shit, how did they laugh? They had a good time with me.
You should have doubled down. You should have been like, these are my seats.
No,
Do you want to sit with me? You can sit with me.
Derek is bad.
He is a bad. No, he is bad.
He's bad.
Yeah, he'll trash talk a kid. I've seen it happen.
So she gets a technical 2.5 minutes into a game.
Sounds about right.
And he's doing his arms, that furling with his arms and stuff.
I missed that.
He then turns to the ref and says, because of that, we're going to win the game. Fans are going crazy. Boo, boo. Here comes she. Now he's coming. We eye contact. He kind of doesn't go to the bench. He comes over to where I am. He leans over the table. Oh, my gosh. What happened? I'm saying to myself, I hope I didn't say something. He goes, Maceo, you should get them to make you some bobbleheads. He leans back up from the Derek, watch this.
In the middle of a game.
He leans back up 2 minutes in, leans back up from the table and does the arm thing again and goes to the bench. He's playing them. He's playing around.
Sure. Yeah.
The one manly story about Rasheed Wallace for a young guy that I learned, they're playing the Orlando Magic. They're up 2 games. Game 3 is in Orlando. What does Rasheed Wallace do? Mr. Badman himself. He calls Dwight Howard, tells him to meet him at the arena at 8 a.m. in the morning.
This is a young Dwight Howard at the time.
Yes. She takes him there and says, when you see me make this move, you got to have your foot here. And so he goes to a 45-minute teaching session. And they're playing that night. This isn't the off season.
Yeah.
That's a man's move.
Yeah, it is.
That'll tell you something.
That's a man's move.
What's the we can't be done yet. What's the loudest it's been? Like, it's loud now. It was loud in 04, 05.
The loudest it was the final game the Pistons took out the Lakers. It was so loud, Kobe refused to sit with the team. The building was shaking. And it was that building really propelled that championship. Those Lakers had never experienced anything to that magnitude. And it's going to come again. The loss and the blessing in disguise is now you've been in it. You've had a chance to feel it. You played at the Mecca in New York. You beat them. You played in Detroit. You didn't win any, right? None, right? No games in Detroit. So you felt all of that. Now you can go back. See, we needed a team that had salt and pepper on it. We just trying to eat the meal without the seasoning.
Yeah.
Now the seasoning comes. That building will get loud. Little Caesars Arena, it's a hockey arena. So it's built like the Roman days where the fans come down on you. When they become that kind of team, that place is going to rock. It is going to rock.
Future is bright, folks.
Alan's got a big smile on his face. He's very excited.
I'm excited.
He's very excited.
Once your team does what they did, you can now look for the next 5-6 years there in the playoffs.
Mason, we could talk to you all day long. We got to let you go. Tell people where they can find more of you.
On Fox 2.
Yes.
Again, I'm on SiriusXM. You can find me at Mason on SiriusXM on Facebook. That's probably the easiest way to find me. And of course, you can listen to me, of course, in Detroit on 105.9 KISS FM. But you'll see me at the bar, the restaurant, the gas station.
Good.
It's like being in high school. That's what it's like.
When can we get a drink?
Yeah. What are you doing after this?
Right. Can we,
I got to go back to work. But let me say this before you cut me off, because you're about to cut me off.
That's that guy.
Alan and Derek.
I'm just the one with the clock in front of me. That's all it is.
You guys are the funnest. When I first saw that, I was like, boo, no. Then I saw another episode. And then I saw another episode. I said, these guys, then I got mad because I don't see more episodes.
Oh, we like that.
You're funny, you're fun, the energy's off the chain. Now, imagine some of this is going on while I'm doing my morning show. I got a TV screen in front of me, a monitor like that, and it stays on Fox 2, so I see the stuff. And I'm doing an interview. I'm in the middle of the interview. I'm hesitating. I'm either trying to speed it up or try to pick up on what you guys are saying. And sometimes I turn the captioning on so I can read it. But keep doing what you're doing. Man, that is funny. That's fun. That's Detroit.
Thank you.
That's
Appreciate
Detroit.
that.
If someone from out of town said, okay, so what's the, you got to throw you guys in, the Weatherboys.
Oh.
You got to throw that in.
Hey, man, I'm
like
all
rock
tingly. I'm all
stars.
tingly now.
In a way, our story is not too much different than yours. We didn't really know what we were doing, but we knew we wanted to do something a certain way, and we stuck with it.
Jeez, but you don't just do it. I mean, you guys, you soak into it.
Yeah.
It is amazing. And sometimes I think you're going to get hurt. I'm like, slow.
We do.
One day. Yeah.
But it's the best. It's the best. The Weatherboys. When you're watching TV and you can see and you hear all the noise, it's the Fox 2 Weatherboys.
Hear all the news. That's perfect. That's it.
Mason, thank you so much for giving us some time. We
fun.
love talking to you. We'll have you back. Can you come back maybe
Yes.
in the future?
So yes, I will come back. And when basketball season starts up again, you guys got to come and do something.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So the
You
three
got a
of
deal.
us do something.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Oh my gosh.
I don't do any of the physical, but I'll be your announcer, your hype man.
Oh, please.
We need it.
Yeah.
We need it.
Yes, we do.
Thank you.
Yes, and Mason, thank you, and Alan, whatever to you.
I'm here.
And Derek, watch an episode of Longstreet, or at least just peek at it.
I'm gonna watch
the guy
it.
looks
All right.
like he looks like Alan is going to freak you out.
All right, and speaking of episodes, more episodes of the Weatherboys, you can find us on YouTube, on Spotify, and of course on Fox Local. Make sure to subscribe. New episodes, podcast episodes every week. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.
The Weatherboys.